Hi folks, welcome to Ask Luca. I'm Luca, and today I'm going to be answering the question, why do you use those pronouns? The pronouns that I use are he, him, and this is a question I get asked a lot, I think because it's quite a simple question, and it's a topic that gets brought up quite easily, because often if I meet people, I try to tell them what my pronouns are as soon as I meet them, so that we get started on the right footing. And I think also because we use pronouns a lot in everyday speech, obviously people, it's at the forefront of people's minds as something that they're curious about. So yeah, the reason I use he, him pronouns is basically that it was the path of least pain for me, if you want to put it that way. I never really felt that I liked he, him pronouns. I just hated all other pronouns more. Kind of like with the name that I talked about last week, like I never found a name that really actually fit me and felt familiar, so I just picked the least evil and the most convenient and went with that, because you got to have a name, and equally you kind of have to have pronouns. I grew up using she, her pronouns because I was assigned female at birth. That means I was born a girl. And when I started realising I was trans, started realising that those pronouns and the assumption that I was a woman made me uncomfortable, I started trying out different pronouns to see if that would help, to see if that would alleviate that discomfort. And that was how I figured out that, yes, being trans is what was going on. So for a while I used both she, her and they, them pronouns, so different people would call me different things. Some people would vary what they referred to me by. I didn't like that. It made me uncomfortable. The only aspect of it that I liked was the kind of the fluidity. And then for a while I tried just using they, them pronouns, but I don't find that those work for me either. They make me uncomfortable. I don't like them. It's probably due to internalized transphobia that a lot of people in society think that they, them pronouns are fake or not valid, or it's bad grammar or whatever, that somebody made them up and they're not real pronouns. Two things: all language is technically made up, and they, them pronouns are grammatically valid as a singular pronoun in English. We use them all the time without thinking about it. Like if someone said to you, oh, the postman came for you earlier, it wouldn't be grammatically incorrect for you to say, oh, what did they leave? That's they as a singular pronoun. Side note. But I think because of that resistance to they, them pronouns in society at the moment, partially, and maybe other reasons that I don't really understand about myself, I didn't like they, them pronouns, didn't feel like they fit. So then I tried he, him pronouns, and they were less uncomfortable than they, them pronouns, and less uncomfortable than she, her pronouns, so I decided to settle with that. I think a good thing about he, him pronouns for me, even though I feel like they don't fully represent me as a non-binary person, is that what feels empowering is that I had the agency to choose a pronoun. By saying, like, I don't want to use she, her pronouns anymore, I pick these ones, I feel like I've enacted some agency over my expression of gender, and I find that comforting, because normally the way gender works is people project it onto me and I have no power as to how they see me or how they respect me. So to be able to have agency in an area like pronouns feels good. I like it, and it's comforting. Some people still forget and use she, her pronouns for me. People who knew me from before I transitioned, family, older friends. Some people new that I meet assume I'm a girl and use she, her pronouns for me. They used to make me really violently uncomfortable. Like, it would feel like I just got a cut on my finger. You know, when you like cringe or wince or something, it makes me feel like that. Still sometimes does if it catches me on a bad day. But I feel like the more that there are people in the world who use he, him pronouns for me, the less it matters to me that a few people slip up sometimes and call me she, her. I think partly because the more I feel secure in a non-binary identity, it feels okay to like have some parts of me be femme, even though most of me is masculine. And also, you gotta cut people some slack. Like my parents, for example, I get it's hard. They knew me for 2 decades as she, her, so I'm not interested in kicking up a huge fuss when they forget, because it's not going to help any of us to have a fight about that every time, as much as sometimes I would like to. And strangers or new people, often people call me she, her, and then go, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I had no idea. And like, it's fine, okay? Maybe it was uncomfortable, maybe I don't care. Either way, the best way to deal with it is just say sorry, correct yourself, move on. Neither of us needs to spend 20 minutes of our day talking about how hard it is that my pronouns have changed. That's boring for me and for you. Let's move on. So yeah, that's why I use the pronouns I use. If anyone has a question they'd like me to answer, please feel free to drop it in the comments or send it to me at my email address, which is askluca96@gmail.com. I hope you have a good week.